This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let us start the session. Myself, Prabhu Kumari. I am going to teach you the machine learning concepts from today. And I think you have completed with your Python concepts and data analysis concepts, right? Okay, let us start. What is machine learning? What are the applications of machine learning? And then we will continue with the algorithms that we are going to apply in machine learning. Okay, in order to learn the machine learning, nothing but in order to know what are the algorithms, what are the models present in the machine learning, you need some prerequisites, right? The prerequisites are Python programming that you have already learned, and in the Jupyter environment only you have done all that, right? And you should know how do we analyze the data using NumPy, Pandas, if you are using ML with Python. And also you have learned the visualization already. You have learned the pre-processing techniques also. Before learning the machine learning, it is important to know how to process your data. And see, by listening to the class in the internship, you will be not able to do it fully. One thing that you should do it is practice. Okay, you should practice different data sets using NumPy and Pandas. You should able to process your data, and also you should able to visualize, though that comes with only the practice. And let us see what is machine learning first. Do you know what is machine learning? Do you have any idea what is machine learning? Please respond me in the chat box. See, whatever the knowledge you have about the machine learning, you can say what you know. Okay, teaching a machine to do a particular work. Yes, okay. Making the machine learn. What about the others? Only two have responded. Predicting the data with old data. Chendu is saying that it is a branch of AI which predicts certain things by using past data. Okay. Yes, as you said, the machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence. And let us see what is a machine learning. See, we have different definitions from different authors. Okay. In a general way, we can tell that the machine learning is a study of computer algorithms improve automatically through experience. Okay. By saying this definition, I think you won't be understanding anything. But let us see in it in a very practical way. Okay. Also, there is one definition by one author called also let us learn one definition by author Samuel. See what he defines the machine learning is, it is a field of study that gives you the nothing but that gives the computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. This is one definition by author Samuel. There are many definitions, but the meaning is same. Okay, this is one definition by author Samuel. he has given this definition in the year 1959. Okay. Yes, machine learning is the field of study that gives the computers ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Nothing but we will make the computer to learn. Okay. Human only will make the computer to learn by applying some programs to it. Okay. Now let us see. Let us continue. See, what should we do in a general way? What will we do? Suppose if you are doing any hacker, if you have used any hacker platform or HackerRank platform, what will you do? See, they will give you the input, right? Nothing but they will give you one question and they will tell all the rules that is to be followed. And what will you do? Or what will us do? We try to code in a programming language based on the input and the rules given, right? See, in the general scenario, if you are using any HackerRank or HackerRank platform, assume that you are using any HackerRank or HackerRank platform, what will you do? In that they will give one question to you, and also they will set you some rules that you should follow. And what will you do based on the question and the rules they have given? You try to write a code to that question based on the rules they have given, and we will give some output in the form of code, right? Yes or no? See, please tell me if you have understood this part. See, in any competitive recruitment, they will give one question to you and give some rules to you. What will you do? You try to program it. You try to program based on the question and the rules they have given, yes? But what does the machine learning? In the machine learning, what happens is we try to give the inputs. See, observe it carefully. We try to give the inputs and also we try to give the outputs. Okay. Based on the inputs and the outputs we have given to that machine, it tries to give one code to us. See, by observing the inputs and the corresponding outputs, it tries to develop some code. Okay. It tries to develop some code to you based on the inputs and outputs. Okay. And see, this is one form of, in this way also we can tell what is machine learning. But if you have didn't understood in this way also, we will take some examples further and you will get more clarity. Okay. And now see, what is nothing but in the machine learning, we try to make the computer. What is machine learning? We try to make the computers to learn. Okay. By giving some inputs and outputs. By seeing these inputs and outputs, by training through these inputs and outputs, it tries to generate some rules or patterns here. Okay. And see, learning is, there are some different types of learnings in the concept of machine learning. Let us see what are those learnings. Okay. We have 3 types of learnings here. One is supervised learning, and the other one is unsupervised learning, and the third one is reinforcement learning. Okay. Let us see what is supervised learning, and let us see what is unsupervised and reinforcement learning. Before going to the supervised and unsupervised learning, let me tell you, I think you know, you have worked on the data sets, right? What is the difference between features and labels? Can you tell? What are the features and what are the labels? I think you have completed your data analysis part. I think you have observed some data sets in it. What are the features and labels in a data set? See, before going to learn what is supervised or unsupervised, first let us learn what are the features and what are the labels. Features, yes. Features are inputs, labels are outputs. Okay, yes. See, for example, think that it is an apple. Okay, though it is not an apple, assume that it is an apple. See, what might be the features of this particular object? Please tell me what might be the features of this particular object. Yes, color is one feature, shape is one feature. Yes, color, shape. What else? Okay, taste is one. Okay, somebody of you told taste is also one feature. Yes, color, shape, taste. Yes, somebody has told me size is also one feature. These are some possible features of this particular object, right? Nothing but these four can be under the features. What might be the label here? What might be the label? See, labels can be of, yes, labels can be of, what are the labels? See, it can be of an apple. Since it is in red color, it may predict it as strawberry or raspberry. Okay, or these are the possibilities. Okay, and the labels can be in the form of also 0 or 1. What does the 0 represents? That it is not a apple. 1 can be represented that it is an apple, right? Or the labels can be represented. Is there any way to represent the labels? See, in this type of labels we have 3 labels. Okay, here we have 2 labels. Nothing but I think you got the difference. Yes, you will be having either true or false, or yes or no. Okay, based upon the data set, you will be having the labels in this way. Nothing but this color, size. Okay, this color, size, taste, and the size can be the features of a data set, and the labels are nothing but the outputs. Labels are nothing but the outputs. Features are nothing but the inputs. This is very important. See that you should know what are features and labels. Okay, after the completion of machine learning or the data science, if anybody asks you about what is feature and label, you should be in a condition to tell what are features and labels. By one question, they will understand that what amount you know about the data set. Okay, the terminology. Yes, these are some features and inputs and outputs. Now let us understand what is supervised learning and what is unsupervised learning. See, in supervised learning, for the machine we try to see, for the supervised learning, for the machine we try to give both the features and the labels to train. So you have done the data analysis, right? You try to import your data set, try to do some pre-processing if it requires, and after that what is the next step in your machine learning is you try to apply to a machine, okay, using some model. Forget about the model, okay, which model you forget, okay. First let us see. You try to give to the machine, you try to give your data to a machine to learn, okay, to train. If you try to send both the features and the labels to your machine to train, or to your computer to train the machine, what will we expect from this? You are trying to train your machine providing both the features and the labels to it, okay. Then what will we expect from that machine after training with these features and labels, okay. Think that we have given this fruits data set only, okay. We have given both the features and the labels to the machine to train, okay. Think that in the data set there are 70 rows of data, 70 rows of data, and with 70 rows of data you have trained your machine. And what will we do after training the machine? We have to test, right? We have to test that to which extent it has learned from the 70 rows of data, okay. To test, what will we give? We try to give a new set of data, right, new set of features related to the fruits data set, and based upon this training with 70 rows, it should predict me the output, okay. Why we have also given the labels to it? We have also given the outputs to learn, okay. See, based upon the features, it has learned the output also. What is the output? If the color is in red color, okay, if okay, if the shape is some heart sized shape, okay, if the taste is somewhat sweet, okay, and if the size is some say if the size is some 5 diameter, or okay, then it is an apple, okay. Based on this data, if I give any data closer to this row of data, it directly predicts me as the apple. Why? Already we have trained the machine with some rows of inputs as well as the outputs. Whenever we try to give some features to it as the input, it tries to give me the output based on the trained data. This is called the supervised learning. Nothing but we try to give both the inputs and outputs. We try to give both the features and the labels to our machine in order to train. And what will we expect? Expect from that. If you give any features, it tries to give you the output based on the trained data. That is what is called the supervised learning in a simple way. See here it is written as machine learning task of learning a function that maps an input to an output based on the input output pairs. Based on the input output pairs means based on the data that we have already trained with the machine, okay. See, this is called supervised learning. Simply in supervised learning, we try to give both the inputs and outputs, okay, in order to train the machine. And when coming to the types of supervised learning, see in the learning, what I have said, see in the machine learning, we have three types of learnings. What are they? Supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. Okay, in the supervised, what will we do? Both the inputs and outputs are given. Nothing but we try to train the machine with both the inputs and outputs, nothing but with both the features and labels. In the supervised learning, we have two types here. One is regression and the other one is classification. Okay, these are the two types in your supervised learning. One is regression and the other one is classification. Okay, how do you consider that the data set is under regression or classification? Okay, see, in the regression, the target values are continuous values. Okay, if you observe the target column or the label column, the values will be in continuous form. I think you know what are continuous values, what are discrete values. Okay, nothing but regression means regression. What is regression? You try to predict the continuous valued continuous valued output. Okay, in the classification, what will you try to predict? You try to predict the discrete valued output. Okay, in the regression, nothing but the label column will be having the continuous values, and in the classification, nothing but you have already seen here. See, if your labels are in this way, 0 or 1, or apple, strawberry or raspberry, that means these come under, see, these two labels. If your data set contains these two types of labels, then you will be applying the classification algorithms to your model. Okay, but if your, see, if these true or false also comes under classification only. Okay, if there are continuous values, then you try to apply the regression models to your model, machine learning model. Okay, next, see, this is one example of supervised learning. See, from your childhood onwards, you will be showing some pictures and you will be trained that this is a duck, this is an apple, this is an orange. And whenever you have shown that object further, you will be recognized that that is an apple or orange or a duck, right? Nothing but in our childhood, our teacher used to train us, and whenever in the future we try to predict when seeing the same picture. That learning can be called as a supervised learning. See, his teacher is trying to explain all the possibilities also. Okay, and next, see, after all the training, see, after training with all the possibilities and all the features, then after we try to, after training, what should we do? What will we do? We try to predict some values. Okay, teacher try to predict. Okay, teacher try to test us showing the input and we should predict it. Okay, this way of learning can be called as a supervised learning. Next, let us see what is unsupervised learning. What is unsupervised learning? See, no labels are given to the learning algorithm. Okay, in the supervised learning, we are trying to give the outputs and the inputs to the machine. Okay, but in unsupervised learning, we try to train the machine without the labels. Okay, without the labels. See, we try to give, we are not telling that this is duck or some other bird. Previously, we have trained that this is duck or this is an apple or this is an orange, right? But in the unsupervised learning, you will be training your model without the labels, without knowing the labels or target values. By observing the inputs given to the machine, what it tries to do, see, if I have given the raw data to you, you won't be understanding what is the data, right? What will you do? You try to segregate based upon the condition they have. See, for example, if you harvest a crop, what will you do? Assume that you are harvesting a crop. Okay. What will you do based upon? By observing the characteristics, nothing but by observing the color of vegetables, you try to segregate the good and bad vegetables, right? See, by observing the patterns of your, by observing the color, the smell, okay, you will try to visualize, nothing but you will try to see the condition of your vegetables and try to segregate those two, good one and bad one, right? But you don't know what is the correct vegetables, or you will be not knowing by seeing it characteristics only, by nothing but you will not cut and see the vegetables, right? You try to observe the patterns, nothing but outer side only. In the same way, in unsupervised learning, you will be given the data without any outputs. You try to segregate them, see, based upon the features, based upon the characteristics, based upon the size or colors. For example, I have given you the 4 sets of nothing, a bunch of fruits. Okay, think that you have given an app with a bunch of apple, strawberry, and raspberry, but you don't know what is the difference between raspberry and strawberry. Okay, you didn't seen before. Okay, what will you do? But there is some difference between raspberry and strawberry, right? Based up nothing but the size may vary. Okay, the taste may vary depending upon the characteristics or the features. You try to cluster them into one group, that the see, you try to cluster them, that small sized fruits into one category, the large sized fruits into one category, or the orange color or the red color fruits into one category, orange color fruits into one category. But you don't know those are apple or those are raspberry or those are strawberry or those are oranges. By seeing the color, the shape, you try to segregate them, you try to group them without knowing the output. Okay, in that way you try to, so unsupervised learning tries to group your data. Okay, see, in there are two types in the clustering in unsupervised learning, called clustering and dimensionality reduction, which you will be seeing further. Okay, and reinforcement learning. See, in a supervised learning we are giving both the inputs and outputs, and in unsupervised learning we are trying to give only the inputs but not the outputs. It tries to observe the patterns and the characteristics of the inputs given and tries to predict, try to segregate the data or try to cluster the data into some groups. But in the reinforcement learning, both the data input and output are not given. It tries to interact with dynamically. Okay, it tries to interact with the dynamic environment, and it tries to give some feedback to you by observing some features or some characteristics patterns in the dynamic environment. Okay, nothing but one example is automatic driving. Okay, without a driver. Okay, you have seen one car, you may seen one car is running without any driver, nothing but there it applies the some artificial intelligence to it. Okay, based upon the dynamic environment that tries to, without any driver the car will be running, right? That is based on the artificial intelligence. It tries to observe the conditions in the dynamic environment and acts behave according to that. That comes under reinforcement learning. Okay, this is the advanced learning in your machine learning. And see what? See, we have observed supervised, unsupervised enforcement, and we have seen some types in it, right? What are the types mean? Nothing but, see, for clustering or dimensionality reduction or the regression or classification, we try to apply some algorithms to it. Okay, we try to apply some algorithms. Nothing but we can be called as the models also. Okay, regression model, classification. We have some different types of models in the regression, classification, in your unsupervised learning itself. Based on the data set given to us, based on the requirement given by the client, we try to apply one algorithm. We try to apply our data to one algorithm, and we try to train our machine with that algorithm. Okay, let us see what are the algorithms that we are going to learn. See, you will be learning some regression algorithms called linear regression, polynomial regression. Okay, and also you will be learning the decision tree, random forest. Okay, there are many algorithms, but we are going to learn the linear regression and the non-linear regressions, and you will be learning some these algorithms you will learn in the coming days, in these 15 days. Now let us see what are the applications of ML. Okay, see, these are some real-time applications that they are using in the real world. See, language translation, stock market. See, in your YouTube recommendation system also based on your some machine learning application only. YouTube recommendations. Okay, based on the data you have seen, it tries to see, based on the data that you have seen in your YouTube, based on the content that you have seen in your YouTube, it tries to suggest you, right? Have you observed? It tries to suggest you some content related to the content that you have seen from the last few days. Okay, that means backend there is the machine learning, and also there is a use of artificial intelligence, machine learning in your YouTube application. Okay, and what are the steps involved in ML? Okay, what will you do? You try to get the data. Where you will get the data? Please tell me. In order to do all this, we want some data, right? Where you will get data? Yes, in the databases. See, will you go to if you go to hospital and ask the data to you, will they give? Yes, we can find the data from databases, but nobody will to give the database. Okay, see, if you want to do a real-time project in machine learning, okay, you won't get data that simple. Actually, we try to use some databases as open source data sets. Okay, yes, we try to use some open source data sets, and if you want the real data to be used, okay, but if you are working in a company, you can get a real-time data set from the company, from the client, or also you can get, see, if you are trying to do a project from your college, okay, from your college you can try to contact from your college, you can try to contact the hospital that you are doing a project, and based upon, see, using the college you can get the data from the police station at cyber, if you want to work on the cyber report, crime report. Okay, or if you want to work on the health condition report, you may go to the hospital with any referred persons, then you can get the data. Okay, and you can also get the data from that website called Kaggle and UCI. Okay, UCI is one also website, you can get the data there. Okay, and what I want to say is, see, in all these algorithms, see, the prerequisites I have already told you, you should learn the Python, data analysis, all that. Okay, but one of the prerequisite for you to learn machine learning is the maths. Okay, there is some maths behind your machine learning algorithms. I have told that we will be using some algorithms, right? We will be using some algorithms. Okay, in that algorithms, they will use the maths behind it. See, for example, I will tell you one small example here. See, if you want to find out the average of one particular student marks, you are having some student marks data. If you want to find out the average, can you find out the average of 1 lakh rows of data? See, as the human, we will get errors, right? As a human, you will get errors. What will you do? We try to apply some mathematical formula, that sum of observations by total number of observations to the average, right? We try to apply. In the same way, for all the algorithms, there is a math behind it. See, for your regression algorithms or your classification algorithms, there is a math behind it. Okay, in order to know how actually the algorithm is working behind, you should know all that mathematics. Nothing but the maths that they use is the probability and statistics and linear algebra. Okay, the linear algebra and probability and statistics, they will be using those maths behind your algorithms. But in this course, in this internship, we are not going to deal with all the math behind your algorithms. But we try to tell you what is, on which formula it is working on. We try to tell, but we are not diving deeply into how that formula has been converted, how that formula is going to use. Okay, how this uh, equation is going to transform. All that we are not going to tell. Okay, and see, and it is not all, and we are not going to use all that mathematical formulas, all that here in your Python. Already all that mathematical formulas are there in our library called sklearn or scikit-learn. Okay, we are not going to apply even mathematical formulas to our data. What we are going to use? We are going to use, see, we are going to use the scikit-learn. See, there is a website for the scikit-learn. See, there are some, already they have built some library for all your mathematical calculations. Okay, that is called scikit-learn. You can refer this website once. See, for classification, you have some inbuilt methods to use, and for the regression and for the clustering also. See, what are these algorithms means? What these regression algorithms or clustering algorithms? Nothing but there are some math behind it. That's it. Okay, using some mathematical derivations, they try to sort out the data here. Okay, for all the algorithms, for all the models also, they have been already coded to you. Just you will use that library and the methods in it. Okay, but if you want to know exactly what is going to happen behind that algorithm, you need to know the maths first, which is all linear algebra and statistics. Okay, and you can also do some reverse engineering. See, if you are learning the algorithms, if you got any formula or any mathematical term, then you can refer and you can get the clarity. You can also do the reverse engineering if you are not interested in learning the maths at the very first beginning. Okay, okay, that's it with the introduction to the machine learning. Have you understood what is the supervised, unsupervised? Have you got a little idea? Please respond me in the chat box so that I will continue. See, reverse engineering means nothing but I have told you. See, if you are using the regression, you will be using some mathematical concept, right? Okay. Then you can see actually the conventional way is to learn the maths first and then come to the machine learning models. Okay. Also, we can directly come to the model learning, nothing but you can directly start learning the algorithms. And when you have heard about any mathematical intuition in that algorithm, then you can go to that maths concept and you can learn. Okay, have you understood what I'm trying to tell? Okay. But you are not you won't use all that here. Directly you will use methods. Okay, you will try to use the methods, but if you want to know actually what is the steps behind the maths that they are applying to this learning, you should know maths behind that. Okay, that's what I am trying to tell. I have already told you in the supervised learning, you will be starting with the supervised learning first. See, in the supervised learning, you will be having the regression and the classification. See, if you want to predict a price of the house, oh, it is of continuous values, right? Ah, okay, it is of continuous values. This can be one example of regression. And for the classification, see, heart disease diagnosis or breast cancer. See, in the breast cancer dataset, you will be having some output labels called malignant or benign. Okay, that means harmful or not harmful. Okay, this can be one example of your classification. See, in unsupervised learning, how many types you have? You are having clustering and dimensionality reduction. Okay, now let us start with the regression algorithms first. Okay, as you have seen in the regression, okay, let me open the other PPT. See, in the regression, you will be having some linear regression, polynomial regression. Okay, you will be having some different regression types. So let us learn today with the one regression algorithm called simple regression algorithm. Okay, And let us see why we are going to use that linear regression. Let us learn what is regression first, and let us learn what is simple regression, and all that we will see now. Okay, first, okay, let me take some data here. Before going to the okay, let me write what is regression here. Regression, I've already told what to which values we use regression. We try to apply regression algorithms. Please tell me once. All of you should tell to which types of labels we try to apply the regression models, regression algorithms. Yes, if your label is of continuous, if your label values are continuous, you can apply the regression algorithms. Okay, in the regression algorithms, let us see, nothing but the regression tells you the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, tries to gives you the relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. Okay, if you don't know what is independent, dependent, no worries. You will be knowing now. Okay, now let us start. First, let us see what are the applications. See, we are going to start with the simple linear regression. Simple linear regression. Okay, what does the simple mean? What does the simple refer to here is, simple refers to one dependent variable, and one and only one independent variable. Okay, only one dependent variable and one independent variable. Next, what does the linear refer to? Linear means, what does the linear refer to? Linear means, see, the relation is continue. Okay, relationship is approximately using some straight line. So this is what we are going to learn today, the simple linear regression. First, let us see what is the math behind it. See what does it uses to apply this algorithm. Do you make use of this algorithm? What are the math that is going to use? That let us discuss it first. Okay. See, you can also see what they are referring here. A mathematical relationship enables us to predict what values of one variable y corresponds to given variables of x. Okay, you will not understand this. I will tell you with a very good example, very basic example. Is this completed noting down? Please tell me. No, then note it down fast. We'll continue. Paste it in the chat box. Okay. Or I will post it in the GitHub. Please try to note. See, if I try to plot thing that I am using some data set called okay advertisements. See, I have done one advertisement. Okay, let us take some values here. Okay, based upon the advertisement, we are getting some sales. Okay, some 14. Let me take the scale as 5. 5, 10, 15. Let us take some 20. Okay. What does the linear represents? What does the linear represents here? It is approximately using some straight line. That means if your x value is if x value increases, then if your y value is also increasing with respect to x, that means that can be called as a linear values. The data set values are linear. See, if x is 1, think that if for one advertisement you got the sales 5 sales, okay, then the point will be plotted here, right? Okay, for 2 advertisements you got some 10 sales, for 3 advertisements you got some 15 sales, for 4 advertisements you got some 20 sales. What does it mean? If your x value is increasing, your y value is also getting increased. Nothing but this is advertisement. Let us say this is x, okay, and this is y, which is sales. How many independent and dependent variables we are using here? And tell me what is independent and dependent variable here based upon this graph. Tell me what is dependent variable and what is independent variable here. So you can take many examples, okay? Based upon the number of hours studied, we can get the grades of the students. Based upon the number of meals, you can get the tip here, okay? There are many examples that can be taken. Yes, X is independent. Yes, very good. X is independent. Y is dependent. And we are using only here one dependent variable and one independent variable. If you are using only one independent and one dependent, and if your data is linear, then you can apply simple linear regression model. Okay, and how can you tell that your data is linear? The first step you should do is to plot your data. Okay, first you should plot your data to identify that your data is linear or non-linear. See, by observing, if your data is in this way, that can be called as a linear data. Okay, what should you do first? First you should plot your data. Okay, based upon, you try to use scatter plot so that you can understand very quickly that it is, if your data is linear or non-linear. Okay, you try to plot your scatter plot using scatter plot. Okay, plot your data first and try to observe that your data is linear or non-linear. And if when does it comes under simple linear? If you have used only dependent and in only one dependent and independent variable. I think you got the point. What is simple linear? Okay. See, based upon the advertisements, you are getting some sales. But you should find out some relation upon the values of X and Y here. How do we find that? Okay. For example, you have given this data set to you. Okay. You have given this data set to you. You have trained your model using some supervised learning. What will you do? What will you try to do after learning them, after making the model to learn, after training the model? What will you do? You try to test your model, right? Nothing but what will you do? You try to, if I given a value of X, nothing but 6, you should predict the number of cells here. Okay. After training this data set with some supervised learning model, supervised algorithm, it may be regression or classification, forget about that. Okay, what will you do? I will try to give one input to you, one input to the model to predict the output. See, it has been trained with the advertisement. Okay, it has been trained with the advertisement and the sales. If at all, if any time I have given any value to that, any input to that model after training, it should predict me the sales here. Okay, if I am using the simple linear regression or linear regression, in which way it tries to predict that is the point we should learn here. Okay, if I give 6 value, how should it predict the sales here? Okay, how should it predict means, actually for the linear regression, for the linear, okay, if the in your maths you will be learning some equation, linear equation. Have you heard linear equation in your maths in your schooling? I think you have learned one linear equation. What is that? If any of you have remembered, please tell me. No problem if you didn't remember also. Yes, what is the equation for linear? Y equal to mx plus c, x plus by equal to 0, md plus c. Okay, polynomial degree is 1. Yes, generally we use what is the formula for linear data is, in the mathematics we try to use y equal to mx plus c. Okay, we try to use this formula. What is m here? What is m here? The m is the slope. Yes, y is the intercept. And how does your linear equation look like? The linear equation, if you try to plot the linear equation, it tries to look like a straight line. Okay, because a straight line. See, it tries to look as a straight line. Based upon this linear equation, based upon this straight line, we try to predict our values here using linear regression. See, if I have given the model 6, what does it do? It tries to compare with the linear equation. See, tries to compare with this linear line. And what is the value? See, think that we are getting some 25 here for 6. Based upon this linear equation, it tries to give me it tries to predict me the value of 25. Okay, this is how in the background it works based upon this equation. Have you understood this? Please respond. Okay, only few responses. What about the others? Have you got some idea how it is going to predict in the linear regression? Please tell me. Based upon the straight line, it is trying to predict your values here. Okay, now my voice audible? Once please respond me in the chat box. Okay. See, as this is linear data, what mathematical formula they are using behind this linear regression is they are using this linear equation formula which is called mx plus c. Okay, if you try to plot using this equation, if you try to plot your values, the conventional plot we get for this equation is a straight line. Okay, based on the straight line, your model try to predict the values here. Okay, how it is going to predict? It is going to use your mx plus c equation only to predict your values. We will see all that. Okay, by the visualization I am telling, by the straight line it is trying to predict your values here. Okay, see, by using the straight line, if at all I have given some other value called 8, okay, It tries to compare with this straight line and what is the value present here. It tries to predict that value in your for y. Okay, you will try to understand. Wait, I will explain again. See, that is only they are giving here. It is the mathematical relationship enabling us to predict one variable y corresponding to the given variable x. Nothing but depending upon the variable x only we are trying to predict the value y, right? That is what here. Okay, what is y here? Y is dependent variable. Okay, and x is referred to as independent variable. And here there is it is not mandatory to have only one, where is it, one independent variable. Okay, in the y equal to mx plus c, x is the x is independent variable, right? And there is no rule that there will be only one dependent variable. Okay, one independent variable. There may be one or more independent variables. Okay, we will see all that. See, in the regression we will be having linear regression with one variable. That means we are discussing now. Okay, with only one independent variable we call it as linear regression with one variable. If you are having more independent variables, we will call it as linear regression with multiple variables or multiple linear regression. This can be called as simple linear regression also. And non-linear regression, if your values are non-linear, then we go for polynomial regression. Okay, and in polynomial we have one with one variable and with multiple variables. Okay, and we will be dealing with some ridge and lasso regressions also. Let us continue. Okay, what is the general representation or general equation we are going to use? See, actually in the general mathematics formula we are going to use mx plus c, but if you want to write it in a statistical way, you will be writing in this way also, b1x plus b0. Okay, what is x here? X is independent variable, b1 is the slope and b0 is the intercept. Okay, I have written wrong, I think here, right? Y is not. Okay, B, C is the intercept. Sorry. Okay, I have written. Please correct this one. And next. See, this is the y-intercept and this is the slope and random error that we will discuss. Okay, first let us see what is positive relationship and positive negative relationship between two values. I have already told you the what is regression? Relationship between x and y, right? Relationship between your independent and dependent variable. See, if your data is in this way, let me take some data here. See, let me take some. See, if your data is in this way, what does it mean? See, if I draw a straight line, your data, if your x is increasing, your y also increasing, right? This can be called as a positive relationship. Okay, this can be called as a positive relationship. Okay, if your data is in this way, what does it mean? See, here if your x is increasing, y is also getting, y values also increasing. That means linear, and you're also your positive values. Okay, nothing but it is getting increased. for every value. Here, if your x is increasing, y is getting decreased. Okay, what does it mean? It means, see, your graph may look like this if you plot with your nothing but with your features. This can be called as a negative relationship, negatively linear. Okay, this is positively linear, it is negatively linear. What does it mean? Nothing but your slope value. What is slope here? M value or B1 value is greater than 0 here. Nothing but all positive values. Okay. For your negative relationship, nothing but B1 may have less than 0 values. Okay. And if your slope is 0, nothing but if your slope is 0, how does your graph looks like? What is slope here? M, right? When does the slope become 0? See, if your slope is 0, that means all your x values is 0. Your graph looks like this. Here beta nothing but b equal to b1 equal to 0. Or you can also write it as m equal to 0. M means slope here. Okay. If your graph is like this, your slope is values are greater than 0. If your graph is like this, your values are in this way, less than 0. But if your slope is 0, your graph look like this. Have you understood this? First, please tell me. See, just if you plot your graph, if it looks like that, you can call it as positively linear, negatively linear, and with that straight line, you can tell that it is with slope 0. Okay. Next, let us continue. Okay, that's what we are, that's what in this PPT we have. Beta 1 means, what is beta 1 here? Independent variable. Okay, nothing but slope. Positive association means nothing but the values are of positive values with linearly positive. Okay, and negative, no association, nothing but slope is 0. If you try to plot your data, it comes as a straight line. Okay, nothing but see, I will tell you what is correlation. See, what is correlation means, it tries to find out the relationship between your variables. Okay, if you try to find out the correlation, I will try to plot. See, if you want to find out the correlation coefficients, which is represented by R. Okay, if R equal to -1, that means generally it is negatively correlated, right? See here, generally it is negatively correlated. Negatively correlated means if you try to plot your points, data points, you will get the graph like this. If your x is increasing, if y is getting decreased. Okay, that means it is negatively correlated. Okay, if R, how do we get this R? How do you get this -1 or 0.06 or 0? Okay, there is a mathematical formula for correlation coefficients. Okay, for correlation coefficients, let us see, let me show you. There is one mathematical formula for correlation coefficients. And your correlation coefficient value lies between -1 to 1 only. Okay, see, your correlation coefficient formula is this. Okay, you can observe here. What does this x bar means? X bar refers to the mean. What does mean? Mean means average. You are having two variables, right? X value and y value. If you try to find out the mean, that means x bar. This is y bar. Okay, I think you know how to apply. What is this called? Summation. Okay, this is the formula. What does that R represents for us? How what is the relationship between your x and y. Your correlation coefficient gives you the relation association of x and y. Okay. What is the range of your R? Please tell me. It is very important. In the interviews also, it is very important. Where does what is the range of your correlation coefficient? -1 to 1. Okay. If it is -1, that means your graph looks like this. Okay. R equal to -1, that represents it is perfectly, okay, negatively correlated. Why I'm telling it is perfectly correlated negatively means, see, within the straight line only all the values are getting plotted. See, this is the line which we generally use. These are the actual data points. The actual data points are getting correlated with our line, okay, with our straight line. So it is perfectly correlating. Okay. You see here R equal to minus, negative represents negatively, negative association. You have seen, right? Negatively linear. Minus 0.6 here. What does it mean? If it is 1 or -1, they are perfectly correlating with the straight line here, either positively or negatively. But what does it minus 0.6 refers to? They're somewhat nearer to the straight line, but not perfectly correlated. Okay. If you try to plot your data, the data points will not get perfectly correlated to your straight line. Okay. And R equal to 0. R equal to 0 represents, what does it represent? Tell me. By seeing this graph, what does it represent? All of you should tell now. What is the slope of this R equal to 0? Tell me. What does this represent? What does the slope of this graph? Please tell me. Yes. R equal to 0, that means you have the independent variable 0. Okay, you are not having any value for your x here. Okay, what will we tell? See, without any value of x also, nothing but if you take the example of sales and advertisements, without doing any advertisement also, we are getting some sales here. That we can say by this relationship, we can say what we can say the relationship between x and y, if your graph is like that. If there are no any advertisements given, still there are some sales without any advertisements also. Okay, that we can observe in this type of graph. And see, this is positively correlated. Okay, this is positively correlated. See this, and we can say this is perfect relationship between x and y, since they are with the straight line only. See, these are not been in straight line, right? Okay, somewhat they are nearer to your straight line. And here it is positively correlated, you have already seen. Okay, have you understood how if you plot your values, you will be seeing your data in this way? Okay, and also by seeing your coefficient, by observing the correlation coefficient also, you will be knowing that how linear your data is. Okay, if it is -1 or 1, that means they are perfectly linear, perfectly correlated. Okay, if your R value is like this, 0.3, negative 0.3, see, they are not, they are weakly correlated, nothing but they are weakly linear, they have weak relationship. Okay, and next let us see what are the other types. See, as I have already explained, this is the linears. These are not straight lines, but these are curvilinear relationships. These are not straight lines. Okay, these are in the form of some curve, but as the value of x is increasing, y is getting increased. but not in the form of straight line. They are called as curvilinear relationships. These are the different types of linear data that you will get while practicing. Okay. And next, strong relationships. I have already told you, if your data is somewhat closer to your straight line, that can be called as the strong relationship between your x and y. Okay. If they are very far from your straight line, they can be called as the weak relationships. Nothing but the relationship between x and y is somewhat weak. They are not somewhat linear. Okay. They are linear but somewhat far away from your straight line. They can be called as the weak relationships. I have already told you, if your values are like this, there are no relationship because the x value is 0, right? If x value is 0, there is no relationship. Next. First, what should we do in the regression analysis first? First, you try to plot the scatter plot. Okay. See, if your data is in this way, let me ask you one question. See, if your data is in this way, will you try to apply the linear regression model? Please tell me. See, is this data linear or non-linear? Please tell me. First step is you try to plot the data using some scatter plot. If your data is in this way, it is non-linear, right? Then you won't apply the linear regression. Either it is simple or it is multiple or anything. Okay. You try to apply. You won't apply linear regression to this type of data set, since it is not the linear data. It is not increasing or decreasing with respect to x. Okay. And that's very important to observe while applying linear regression. And next, first we try to apply the scatter plot, and we should see that it looks linear or not. Are there any points? See, by seeing the labels, we can't understand that it is linear or non-linear. By seeing the graph only, by seeing the plot only, you can visualize that it is linear or non-linear. Okay. By seeing the values itself, you can't find. Okay. Next, let us now move to the next step. I think you have got what is linear data. When should we apply linear regression? But to apply linear regression, what I have told you, why we are using some straight line to fit our data properly. But see, what are the possibilities to draw a straight line here? If we want to draw manually a straight line between the correlated, nothing but between your linearly plotted values, okay, ignore if any, sorry. See, the straight line can be drawn. See, I can draw a straight line in this way, or I can also draw a straight line in this way. Can also draw a straight line in this way, right? There are many possibilities to draw a straight line if you are doing it manually, right? See, there are many possibilities, but what is the best straight line or the best fit line to be used to predict our values? I have already told you, using this straight line, we try to predict our values. But what is the best line we should use? Best fit line we should use? We don't know, right? By manually we can draw many lines like this to use to predict our values. But it is not the good way to use. What does we do is, how does we select? Yes, how does we select the best fit line means, if there are values in this way to you, if you have plotted the values in this way, how does you select the best fit line to your data is, first you try to draw some line. Of course you don't draw all these lines, all your sklearn will do all that. Okay, all your model will do all that. You will be not doing all this, but what is actually going behind the model is here. It tries to take some different points and try to take one line like this. Okay, now what does it do? It tries to find out the distance between every point. See, actual point or this, actual is this. Okay, the line, the predicted line is this, right? What does it do? It tries to find out the distance between every point. See, it tries to find out the distance between every point. This distance can be called as, see, this distance can be called as error. This distance can be called as error, or you can also call these points as residuals. You can call these points as residuals, and the distance can be called as the residual error. Okay, what does the distance can be called as? Tell me. What does the distance can be called as? The distance can be called as an error here, and these points can be called as the residuals, and we can call this error also as residual error. Okay, what does we do by finding out this error here? Okay, what will we do is, by finding out the distances, how do we find out the distance? How do we find out the distance is, we try to find out the distance of every point, y minus y dash. Okay, y bar. Nothing but for every value of x, you are having two values here. One is the actual value, one is the predicted value. Okay, one is the actual value. These are the actual values. This line is of predicted values. Okay, you try to find out the errors like this. What does it, this y dash means? All the mean of all your predicted values. Y dash represents the mean of all your predicted values. Y represents the actual values. Are you understanding this terminology? Please respond me in the chat box. What is predicted? What is actual? Are you trying to understand this terminology? Please tell me. Yes. You try to find out the distance between every actual and predicted value. What will you do? You try, if you want, see, you may get negative values also when you are trying to find out this difference between actual and predicted, right? What will you do? You try to square these values. Okay, to observe it very carefully, nothing but to observe the larger deviation, to observe it in a more clear way, if you find out the square, you will get the larger values, right? So that it will be easy to you. You will try to find out the square of these values, and what will you do? You try to, if you are trying to take other straight line, okay, See, for if you are having 10 points, okay, what will you do? You will sum up all that. See, for this point you have calculated y minus y dash. For this point you have calculated y minus y dash. For all that points, what will you do? You try to sum up all those values. Think that you got some 120 for this straight line. And it takes the other possible values. Okay. It also tries to calculate the same calculation and tries to find out. Think that you got some 90. And let us take the other fit line, best fit line. It tries to take this straight line equation. Think that you got 110 for the third fit line, for the third straight. Think that you got some 45 for the other one. Okay. Based upon these values, which fit line does it take? Based upon these values, which fit line does it take? Does it take the fit line which got the error called 120, 90, 110 or 45? Yes, it takes this fit line, these data points, okay, which got the minimum error. This can be called as an SSC. This error can be called as an SSC. What is SSC? Sum of squares errors. Sum of squares errors, or you can also call it as least mean square error. Okay, this SSC can be called as sum of squares error, or it can be called as least mean square error. Least mean square error. Okay, which has the minimum error, that is the best fit line it is going to take, and with that fit line only, if I have given any new value, tries to predict with that new line. Have you got the point now? Have you got idea how it is going to predict using linear regression? Now please tell me. If you have any doubts also ask me, then we will move to the practical way. We will try to apply this linear regression using the data set in Python. Have you understood what is the concept that we are going to use for the simple linear regression? How it is going to predict the values? Please respond once. Yes, if we have one feature and one label, then it is called simple regression. Yes. We will see multiple regression tomorrow. What about the other students? Have you understood what is the concept behind your linear simple regression? Please respond once. See, if I have any set of values in the general way, what will you do? If I have some, yes, thank you for your responses. See, if you have general, if you have any data set, how do you predict your values? By using this formula. Let me show you this formula. See, in the practical means this is only the practical way. Practical using Python, you will try to apply the model directly. You will not use all these mathematical equations. Okay. In the background, it will do all that. If you want to do practically means you should use all these mathematical equations and you should try to solve all these mathematical equations. That's it. That is the practical way. Okay. See, slope A equal to, if you want to find out the values, what will you do first? In the practical way, if you want to find out the values, where is it? Let me take Excel here. Just I am telling how do we calculate. I am not calculating here. It takes some time. See, in order to first calculate, think that you got some advertisement and sales. Let me take some values 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. And let me take some sales values 11, 13, 15, 16. Okay. What is this advertisement, X or Y? This advertisement is X, right? This sales is Y. I think it will not be visible to you. Okay. Next, see. Okay, how do you find out that Y equal to mx plus c here? If you want to find out the values, what is the formula here? Where is it? See, first you want x bar, y bar, x bar. What is it x bar, y bar here? I have already told you. What is that? You should find out the mean of this x. X bar. X bar means average. Okay. You should find out the x mean. X bar means x mean. And you should find out the y mean values. Okay. X mean, y mean. Okay. Let me write here one column, x mean, y mean. Then what next? What is the next you should find out? X minus x mean. And you should find out y minus y mean. If you want to do it practically, this is the way you should do. Okay. All these mathematical calculations you try to solve. X minus x bar means mean, y minus y bar. And you should also find out this x minus x bar whole square. Then you will get all the slope values for your data set. Okay. All the slope values. And next, what will you do? Based upon the slope values, you will get y equal to mx plus c is formula. Okay, y equal to mx plus c is the formula. To get c, what will you do? Y minus mx is the formula, right? See, that is the formula they have given here. B equal to y minus mx. Y bar minus a x bar. Y bar means mean values of your y. Okay, x means mean values of your x. A you have already calculated. For every value, for every data point, you have calculated the slope, right? You will try to substitute here and you try to calculate y value. Okay. How will you calculate y value now? Please tell me. You are getting the slope value here. So you are getting the slope value. Okay. And you are also getting the intercept value. X value is there with you or not? Please tell me. See, in order to predict the value, you will be given the X value, right? Are you able to understand what I am trying to tell? See, if you want to predict the value, you will be giving the input here. You should predict the output. You will be given x value here. You should predict the y value. But using this straight line only, you are trying to predict. What is this straight line equation? Y equal to mx plus c. Okay. Through the formula, you have find out the c value, and also you have find out the m value. And x value is given by the client. Nothing but x value is coming from the test data. Nothing but x value is given to you only. Using these three values, you try to predict the y values. Okay, that y value will be the predicted value. Have you understood or not? Please tell me. If you have any doubt also, you can ask. See, మనకి ఇక్కడ ఏంటి, మనం ఈ ఫార్ములాలో మనకి ఇచ్చిన డేటాతో m వాల్యూ c వాల్యూ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, m వాల్యూ c వాల్యూ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తాం. x వాల్యూ అంటే ఇన్పుట్, y వాల్యూ అంటే అవుట్పుట్. ఇన్పుట్స్ మనకి ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేయడానికి డేటా సెట్ లో నుంచి మనమే తీసుకుంటాం. ఓకే, మనం ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేస్తాం. అర్థమైందా లేదా? m వాల్యూ x వాల్యూ అన్నిటికీ సేమే. సారీ, m వాల్యూ c వాల్యూ, ఓన్లీ x వాల్యూ వేరీ అవుతుంది. x వాల్యూ అంటే ఏంటి, మనకి ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేయమనడానికి ఒక వాల్యూ ఇస్తారు కదా, ఆ వాల్యూ సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసి అవుట్పుట్ ఎలాగో ప్రిడిక్ట్ చేస్తాం. దాన్ని ఇక్కడ మీకు విజువలైజేషన్ లో చూపించారు. అంటే ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ ని విజువలైజ్ చేసి ఇలా స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ వస్తుంది. x వాల్యూ ఇస్తే దీనికి కరెస్పాండింగ్ ఇలా y వాల్యూ చెప్తామని ఇది విజువలైజేషన్ ఇలా చూపించారు. ప్రాక్టికల్ గా అయితే ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ లో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసి చేస్తారు. ఓకే, మరి ఈ స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ ఎలా తీసుకుంటారు అనేది ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను నేను. ఓకే, ఈ స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ ఎలా తీసుకుంటారు? బెస్ట్ ఫిట్ లైన్ అది క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తుంది. పాసిబుల్ వాల్యూస్ తీసుకుని, ర్యాండమ్ వాల్యూస్, స్ట్రైట్ లైన్స్ తీసుకుని ఏది అయితే ఎర్రర్ తక్కువ వస్తుందో ఆ లైన్ ని బెస్ట్ ఫిట్ లైన్ గా తీసుకుంటాం. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యాపెన్ బిహైండ్ యువర్ అల్గోరిథం. ఇంకా ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా ఎవరికైనా? ఇవన్నీ మీరు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయండి. ఆఫ్టర్ ద క్లాస్ యూ ట్రై టు క్యాలిక్యులేట్. ఓకే, after finding all these values, for example, I got some values like this: 3x plus 2. See, after finding out all these values, I got the slope as 3. I got the intercept as 2. What does it mean? Please tell me. If I got the values in this way, what does it mean? For every value of x, okay, our y value will get varied by, for every value of x, y value get varied by 3 units. ఓకే, అది ఎలా చెప్తున్నా, మనకి స్లోప్ వాల్యూ 3 వచ్చింది కదా. ఓకే, we got the slope value as 3 based upon that value. Here x value is advertisement, right? For every one advertisement, we can get the sales of 3, minimum 3 sales. By this equation we can analyze our data in this way. If there are any no values also, if there are no x values, okay, even though we can get how many sales? Please tell me. If there are no x values, how many minimum sales we can get? If there are no x values means what does it mean? Y equal to 3 into 0 plus 2. Okay. 0 divided multiplied by any number is 0. 0 plus 2 is, we got y as 2. Nothing but if there are no advertisements also, how many sales we are getting? Minimum sales we are getting 2 minimum sales. Okay. Actually, by using the data set, we try to predict in this way. We try to analyze the relationship between x and y in this way using regression, using this equation. Okay. For every value of x, the y varies by 3 units. If there are no values of x, we can even get the sales as 2. Okay. Have you understood now why how this y equal to mx plus c is giving you the relationship between x and y? Okay. Now let us apply the SQL. Now let us move to the Python and apply the SQL. Where is it? Okay, what are the, let us write the applications here. What are the applications of linear regression? Let me write here. Tell me what are the simple linear regression that you can apply. Tell me one example in the real time. Yes, prediction of height by age. Yes. Applications. See, it management, all your student marks, all that can be come under your management application. Okay. Okay, in engineering you can apply engineering side. Okay, in biological also you can apply. Nothing but related to. These are some applications of your regression. So let me convert into markdown. Okay, from your GitHub, there are some data sets here. Please click on the data sets. In regression folder, there is a, see in the regression folder, there is one data set called salary.csv. Please try to copy the data and create a file in your path. I think you know how to do this, right? If you have any doubts in doing this, ask me. Try to copy the salary.csv file from the datasets folder in the GitHub link. Okay, if you have done, please respond once. Try to save your file. Now try to import the data set here. What is the first step? We try to import the data here. Import the data. How do we import the data? If it is a CSV file, we try to import the data using pandas, right? Using read_CSV. Okay, I thought that you have the GitHub link with you. Wait, I will send you. See, I have sent you in the chat box. Please try to copy that one and create a file. Okay, try to import the data. Import pandas as PD and try to import your data. df equal to pd dot read_CSV of salary dot CSV. Yes, what about the others? Please do it fast. Students, please tell me if you have done with loading the dataset in your Jupyter. What about the others? Only 4 has responded. Okay, shall we continue tomorrow or shall I continue now? Telling this sklearn using sklearn. Please tell me once. Tomorrow, ma'am, no internet. Yes, okay. Okay, it's already 6:30. Let us wrap up what we have discussed today. We have discussed what is the machine learning. Okay, what are the types of learnings, and we have discussed what are the different algorithms in supervised and unsupervised learning, and we have seen what is the concept behind the simple linear regression. Okay, that's it. If you have any doubts in the topics discussed today, you can ask now. Otherwise you may leave the meeting. Thank you one and all. And we will continue with the sklearn tomorrow.